Tonight on Podcast Them Down, we find out which band with the initials DT was better. Podcast Them Down! Hail Metal Nation, it is we, Mike and Tim. This is Podcast Them Down, heavy metal podcast with very little heavy metal, only talking. Man. All right, now that we've weeded out the posers. Mike, you went and saw Dream Theater. What was it? Dreamsonic 2023. Dreamsonic 2023. So I did not go. The closest they came to Baltimore was Philly, right? So you paid all those tolls and went up to Philly, huh?
We took the train, man.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, it was actually awesome.
Wait, did you stay overnight, or is there a train back?
Yeah. We stayed overnight for a 4-minute walk from the Met.
Oh, that's not bad at all. I like how you fall asleep on the train to Philly, and you get to New York, you get to Boston, you fall asleep on the train to DC, and you go to like New Carrollton or Richmond,
like Roanoke.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
No, my mom took the girls for the evening, and then
nice.
We basically went, and it was like a date weekend. It was unbelievable. I felt human again. And
you went with your wife, and she came back with you, even though you subjected her to that for.
Yeah, she
actually see what
had
they
a really
did there?
good time. She had a really good time. She's not really into heavy metal, but she likes going to these shows with me. I think she just kind of likes the experience.
Yeah. What? Oh, so the venue, wasn't it at the Met or something? Yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's at the Met.
What's the Baltimore equivalent of the Met?
It would be the Hippodrome, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's a theater.
It's a sit-down theater,
That's the problem, I think, with Dream Theater now, because they keep playing theaters, and you know, like, they want people to like be energetic, but if you give people chairs, they're gonna sit. And even worse is when people stand when there are chairs. I hate that even more.
Mm-hmm.
No, and if there are chairs, everyone must sit, especially at a theater.
Yeah, it's like I had no desire to stay. Like,
exactly.
I don't know what it is. Like, you can tell that the bands derive some pleasure from people standing, and I give no shit. Like, I'm just here to experience whatever it is going on. I'm happy to sit, stand, whatever you need me to do, but I'll definitely prefer to sit.
So the show was on Canada Day, so.
Yep.
So wait, James LaBrie didn't have the day off?
No, he was. He actually somewhat dissed Canada.
Well,
during one of his spiels.
Really?
it was really awkward. It was amazingly awkward. Okay. I guess we'll begin with the venue itself is super nice. It's definitely it's a theater, so it feels like you should really be going there to listen to, I don't know, a philharmonic orchestra or something like that. But they had one thing I was struck by immediately is that there were 3 drum kits.
Oh no.
So Animals as Leaders was up front. They had their drum kit. Then behind them was Devin Townsend's drum kit, which was on a big riser. And then behind that was Mangini's drum kit.
Also on a riser?
Yeah. So, we got there fairly close to the.
I'm pulling up live videos because our my official source for music videos now is Lord of the 80s on YouTube. Oh. This guy apparently goes to every concert there is between DC and Southern Pennsylvania. Every single one. So naturally he went to Metal Church the other day and then went to Animals as Leaders, Devin Townsend Dream Theater. So I'm pulling up videos so I can comment on it. But you can't hear the videos, just me watching them. All right, go on.
All right, so everything started on time. Everything was clearly pre-sound checked. Animals as Leaders comes out. So Animals as Leaders, if you're not familiar, Tosin Abasi, Javier Reyes, and I'm sure I'm mispronouncing his name. And then I think it's Matt Garska is the drummer. And they're pure instrumental. You could consider them gent. I feel like Animals as Leaders has a similar issue when it comes to trying to pin them to a genre as Meshuggah, where they clearly had a certain amount of influence, but I don't necessarily consider them to be whatever genre it is that they kind of helped spawn.
I hate it when people call them prog because I have a very specific idea of what prog is, and I will say they're progressive. But
yeah, I mean,
I listen to this and I'm like, it's not prog. That's something.
I mean, I mean, I like Animals as Leaders. They're not my favorite.
I didn't say I didn't like them. I'm just not into them, and it's not prog to me.
I can understand that because it's got a very different approach. It's oftentimes like almost jazzy. Clearly, Tosin Abasi and the rest of the band have like just a wide range of influences.
Now, you and Tosin go way back.
I worked with a coworker of his. No. One of my coworkers went to school with him. That's what it was. So my coworker.
So you practically known him his whole life. So at what point did you know he was going to be so talented and so successful?
To be fair, I could technically say, not that I would have actually known this, I could technically say earlier than Animals as Leaders because I saw Reflux, which was his band.
He was in
before
Reflux?
Animals as Leaders. He was in Reflux.
So was the former Burning Shadows drummer, the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so that band
was in right after Burning Shadows, but I don't think I'd be surprised if they were in that band at the same time. But
well, I saw Reflux open for Strapping and Lad and Meshuggah, and I have a vague memory of saying like, man, that guitarist is like out of control. Like it wasn't my style, but I was like, damn.
Was he doing that technique thing he does? So there's lots of tapping and lots of like that. I forgot what it's called.
He does like the Victor Wooten style.
Do the finger thing. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about the thumb.
Yeah. I mean, so it's almost like a down pick on the thumb and then like 4 plucks.
Yeah,
with your fingers.
Yeah.
No, I mean it was a lot more like standard guitar playing that I recall. But I mean, he wasn't really the highlight of the night for me back then. Okay, but anyway, they came out, and I think it's hard to sort of gauge it. It's hard to sort of rate them, in my opinion, because they come out and it's not like they can go ape shit because they're playing super intricate, complicated, technically intense music, right? Like there's no way that you could go up on stage and like headbang and put on a good show, or well, not put on a good show, but you know what I mean? Like you can't play it up.
Yeah. And they're probably playing to a click, I would assume.
Oh, absolutely, because they have backing tracks, and they're pretty unapologetic about that. I think they've got like a synced light show. So, they came out and they did really well. Like they kicked ass, pretty good crowd response.
They are not on Metal Archives.
I disagree with that. Like I don't think Metal Archive doesn't like them because they're gent.
But they're not. I don't think they are.
No, like with Meshuggah, Metal Archives is like, oh, it's only because of Destroy, Erase, Improve that we put them on here, and it's like they really don't sound much different. Like, no. I mean, they're a little slower, but yeah. Anyway, so I'll list I don't know the tracks very well.
Okay, I got it here. If you want me to tell you what they played,
I actually have it on set list.fm.
All right, well then save me the work.
All right. So they played Ectogenesis, Gordian Knot, Red Miso, Microaggressions, Thoughts and Prayers, The Brain Dance.
I like how
Physical Education.
I like how naming a song Thoughts and Prayers is a microaggression.
The Woven Web, and then CAFO. And CAFO is like probably their most popular track because it's got this like wicked arpeggio at the very beginning. It's like impossible to play. There's nobody nobody could play this freaking thing. But overall, I liked it. My wife, who's not super familiar with them, she was like, "Yeah, this is great." And she liked. They go into these jazzy interludes pretty frequently, and they do it fairly effortlessly, which I'm always impressed by. But as a gear nerd, Townsend's guitars are outrageous.
Oh, I don't like the style of them.
But it's not just.
It's that big hump on it that I don't like.
It definitely takes like bass stylings, right?
Yeah.
Because you'll see that in some basses.
I don't like it on basses either. I'm sure there's a function to it. I don't know what that is.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, I'm well documented that I like pointy guitars. So there's nothing pointy about a big old hump. It looked like a Strandberg that they didn't finish carving out to me. Townsend's guitar.
But they've got more than that. So they have some fairly like pointy, like super Strat looking guitars, not with that giant horn or like non-horn. But then he's got this one. It almost looks like a block of wood, but it's like a fan fret headless, like wood guitar. Hold up, this thing looks like wicked. But it seriously looks like somebody cut down a tree and was like, I'm just gonna put some pickups on that and call it a day.
It can't be worse than Oscar Droniak's Hammerfall Hammer guitar, which is just a rectangle.
All right, here, hold up. How can I send this to you? There we go. I sent it to you
on Discord.
On that Google Chat.
On the hardest thing for me to get to. All right.
Oh no.
No,
okay,
it's fine.
Hold up.
It's too late. All right, let's see. Oh, a Blogspot link. That's not risky. What is this?
Do you see what I mean? It looks like you got a chunk of wood and was like, fuck it.
Yeah, I think I can get this up behind me. That's what she said. It seems like an instrumental band like that is a good opener. There you go.
Yeah, that thing looks wicked.
What's up with the longer thing up? So the two lowest strings.
Yeah, they have a longer scale length.
Yes. Well, yeah, but it's a fan fret guitar. I'm talking about past the nut. They have this much longer. Oh no. Hey, Matt.
Yo.
Joining us is Matt. Let's see if I remember which button applause is. Oh yeah, there we go. Hey, Matt.
Not that one. That's not the right.
Yeah, but there's applause in it. There's applause. What do you think of this guitar, Matt?
It looks well designed and not overthought at all.
See, yeah, it's either somebody put way too much thought into it or no thought into it.
So is this too try hard to call back to our metal promo review? Is this...
That's a great question. Is that trying hard or not hard enough?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the material of the body of the guitar made of? It looks like a piece of driftwood.
Probably carbon fiber. Oh no, wait, that's the neck, which means anyway. See, it's called being topical. Yeah, well, that's
swamp ash. Swamp ash.
I've had that before.
I knew that was coming.
Oh,
it's spalted maple facing.
My but isn't working, so you got an aw instead.
Oh, the swamp ash.
Okay, so Mike was just wrapping up talking about the opening band Animals as leaders. See, this is called a reset, but it's really for your benefit in that. And
for people just turning on their podcast right now.
Right,
halfway
in the middle of the episode.
And he had a great story about his long personal relationship with Tosin Abasi.
Oh yeah,
Animals as leaders. So you're just gonna have to listen to the episode when it comes out to get that. Okay, so they So now they've removed one of the drum sets off the stage, right?
Yeah, one of the drum sets is removed.
Wait, how many drum sets were on the stage?
Oh,
3.
there were 3.
Sorry.
So, okay. So Devin Townsend's next. The changeover is super quick.
I don't think
No.
Lord of the 80s likes Devin Townsend very much because there's only 2 videos of him.
All right, well, all right. So here's something interesting about Devin Townsend. So Devin Townsend, to get into the history somewhat, he was with Strapping Young Lad for the longest time. It was like his main band. And once that band broke up, then he kind of cast those members aside and then formed the Devin Townsend Band for 2 albums. And it was almost like he absorbed some pop punk group and was just like, just play my shit. And they were like, okay. But he kept the drummer and I think one of the guitarists. So then they made the Devin, he kind of like did his own solo thing for 1 album and then did the Devin Townsend Project. And
which I believe was some sort of hovercraft.
yes, it was.
Good joke.
I love this soundboard. All right. So Devin Townsend Project was planned for 4.
You will never get the story out. Your cat has stretched out behind you.
Yeah, she's just chilling. All right.
If only there was a sound for that, but I don't have one.
Fuck.
All right. Devin Townsend Project was planned for 4 albums. He had a fairly consistent lineup with some deviation, like at first, but then it was like, oh, okay, he's got this core band now. And like, this is his band. And then they release an album, they do a tour or 2, and then he's just like, yeah, disbanding the band entirely. I'm going to do my own shit now with whoever I feel like. So I get the impression that what happens is that he's like, I like these guys, but they're not really doing it for me musically. So yeah, fuck them. I know I'm the idea man. And he is the idea man. So his new band is, oh man, what is it? Josh Darby? Is that?
Here, I'll look it up.
No. It's like
Casualties of Cool.
No, that's a different thing. Okay, so it's Darby Todd. So Darby Todd is the drummer. And then who's the bassist? Because he's the only. It's Josh.
James Leach.
James Leach. Thank you. So Darby Todd fits the music fairly well. He's very well animated. James Leach looks sort of bored the whole time.
He does.
And I think Devin Townsend.
He does, and he's wearing a button-down shirt.
Yeah, I think Devin Townsend's bass lines are pretty simple, to be totally honest with you. So, like, he occasionally gets in with their bits every now and then.
Well, I'm going to write Devin Townsend. I'm going to tell him I'm available for the next few years to tour with him on bass as much as he wants.
Yep. I'm in.
The joke for Matt is that Devin Townsend just announced he's not going to tour after the end of this tour.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't hear that? Okay, well,
shit.
Oh, wow.
It's a good thing you saw them.
Is Devin Townsend currently haired or unhaired?
Unhaired.
He shaved his head a long time ago.
Well, but I see occasional older pictures of him with long hair, but I enjoy short-haired or bald head Devin Townsend because I imagine he looks like Henry Rollins would if he went to therapy.
All right.
Funny.
So I went through 2 members. The third, most obvious, Devin Townsend, but then the fourth guy I want to talk about. So it's Mike Kennelly. Mike Kennelly is is a guitarist and keyboardist. He does both.
Ooh.
He played briefly in The Mothers of Invention. So like he played with Zappa. So the dude, like, Devin Townsend's music is very synth heavy and very sample heavy, and Devin basically replaced two people with Mike Keneally.
I just looked down at this video and last time I looked down was before they all got their oversized cowboy hats on. And what's his name? Keneally? Mike Keneally was playing a keyboard line while tapping on a guitar.
Yeah.
And Devin Townsend was clearly doing some kind of effects board, so he looked like he was tap dancing. So I thought the video was a different video for a second, but no, it's still Devin Townsend.
Yeah. So, basically those four were fantastic. I mean,
sit down. Sit down. You're blocking the view. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So there weren't as many people standing for Devin Townsend, and he was clearly like trying to get people to stand, but he seemed overall appreciative of the fact that people were into it, just kind of, chilling.
I appreciate that you appreciate me.
Yes.
Mike Keneally,
yeah. That's like his new thing. Like, he used to get really mad at shows, and now he seems more like, yeah, I'm good. Mike
Keneally apparently toured with Death Clock.
Oh,
that
wow.
doesn't surprise me.
And he played with Joe Satriani and James LeBrie's solo stuff.
The Mole Muzzer shit.
Well, it just says James LeBrie. So.
Oh, I can't get into Mole. Solo James LeBrie is just not quite it for me.
Well, but it doesn't say like which it is.
He might have 40 solo albums.
Yeah. And then I saw in this video he's playing the Devin Townsend signature guitar thing.
Yep.
Yeah, so how cool, like, was that a stipulation? Or does he, it's like, if you're playing with me, you also have to play my guitar.
That wouldn't surprise me. He's
like
got
this
like
light up
brand
thing.
deals.
It's got all these LEDs inside of it. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, his signature guitar line is actually like pretty neat. I don't know that it's necessary, but it's cool. But songs that they played: Lightworker, Kingdom, Dimensions, Deadhead, By Your Command, Deep Peace, Truth, and Bad Devil, which is a pretty wide array of solo Devin Townsend stuff.
Well, I'd say that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 albums. 5 albums and a cover.
Well,
I'm looking at the same
cover,
setlist.fm thing you are.
but the cover is from his own band.
It says cover, so yeah.
It's the Devin Townsend band song.
That's funny.
He auto-covered. That's how good he is.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of the, you see that distinction. It's like, oh, well, this was the Devin Townsend band. It's like, yeah, but he still wrote it and sung it and played on it. So yeah, I mean, they came out, they did a fantastic job. The crowd seemed pretty into it. They weren't standing for the most part. More people were standing for Devin Townsend than they were for Animals as Leaders.
Seems to me like he scaled back the production. Is it because he wasn't headlining, or
it's
reading articles
it's usually
about how much more expensive it is to tour now, so they're just like cutting back. Like, all he had was the logo behind him with an octopus below it.
Yeah.
Static octopus, and then there's a little octopus thing on the drum kit, and that's it.
Yeah, it's usually like, especially recently, he's gone like all out, especially with the whole Ziltoid shit.
Yeah.
Well,
that's when I saw. That's when I saw him. And it was like the stage.
Yeah, he usually hams it up.
Yeah. But I wonder if that's a stipulation of opening for Dream Theater. Like, you can't have anything.
Oh yeah, you can't have too much production.
Right. Dream Theater's production isn't all that much either. It's anymore, because now it's just video walls and that's it. Seems like.
But I mean, if you're an opening act and you have a bunch of production and the headliner is just going to do video walls, I can see them say, yeah, you're not doing any of that shit.
Yeah.
When you're opening for us.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. but I could see them be like, yeah, don't show us up.
Fucker.
So one thing I'll note real quick here, being the gear nerd that I am, Animals as Leaders had some cabs and amps on stage.
Yes.
Devin Townsend did not, and that didn't surprise me because he's pretty famous. Well, not famously, but he's pretty open about the fact that he's like, oh yeah, I just use Axe-Fx.
Well, I remember there was for the last tour, he had like a gear rundown, and he had 2 Axe-Fx and 2 Kempers.
Yeah, I feel like he has a tendency, in my opinion, to like over attribute certain things to like certain pieces of gear or certain musicians. So like the Empath album, he had 3 different drummers because he's like, well, this drummer's good for like playing it exactly as I wrote it, and this guy's good for improv, and then this guy's good for blasts. And it feels like too much to me personally.
Well, I think the more argument could be made for that than for using a 1 amp modeler brand that does everything for one guitar tone and another amp modeler brand that does everything for another guitar tone.
Well, what it was is he's like, well, I like the tones of the Kemper, but I like the effects of the Axe-Fx.
Oh God.
So it was shit like that. And more recently, I think he just went all to Axe-Fx.
Okay.
But I bring this up for a reason. So finally, Dream Theater goes on. And of course, the first thing everybody does is fucking stand up.
They played at a theater.
Uh-huh.
Matt.
What theater? Warner or
the Met in Philly?
Oh, okay. All right.
So I was already like, well, this is annoying, but okay. And the one thing that struck me is that there were no amps on stage with Dream Theater.
Did John Petrucci have his like little speakers in front of him that he always has? Oh,
I couldn't see. I didn't see.
Oh, because everyone stood up in front of you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if he had just like a little JBL like Bluetooth speaker in front of him?
I mean,
well,
you joke, but it's not far off.
He does have like one speaker pointed up at him,
and it's just for sustain, I think.
Oh, I see.
The fucking people are standing in the way. I can't see in this video.
All right, so the first 4 tracks are the Alien, Sleeping Giant, Caught in a Web, and Answering the Call. And I hate to say it, but I didn't really like A View from the Top of the World.
Uh-oh.
So 3 of those tracks are from A View from the Top of the World. So I was kind of bored, and sacrilegious though this may be, I don't really know Caught in the Web.
Oh, that's probably I was gonna say it was their best song they played, but it was one of their best songs they played. But I can see how you wouldn't care about it.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not quite when I got into them, and I've listened to it, and it's just. I end up drifting towards, I guess, their middle discography a bit more.
I think Caught in a Web, like, why that song off of Awake? I mean, it's there are many more better songs to play off that album, and they chose that one. I don't know. It would have been nice to see, and I think people like it because it's within the context of the album. Yeah,
I gotcha.
Because everyone loves to hate on. I only like old Dream Theater. I only like old Metallica. I only like old Devin Townsend. I only like old Animals as Leader when they invented Gent or whatever. Or did they ingent it?
Ingent, oh boy.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I to be totally honest with you, I wasn't super into the first half of the set, and then LaBrie's vocals were not fabulous, and I don't know if it was. Well,
he hasn't
me.
Sung a note since 1994.
Damn! You need a dam. You need a dam in this town.
Oh yeah, you do.
I'll get one, but
no. You need to get this.
People have been saying that, and it drives me nuts. I'm like, yes, he has.
You got to get that clip from Super Hot Fire. You ever seen this?
Nope.
Oh, I got to send you this. It's fabulous. Anyway, yeah.
Your cat,
3 tracks off of...
Your cat's the
What's
other
that?
way now. I don't know when it happens, but... Oh. If only I had a button for that.
All right, so View from the Top of the World, just not big into it. So after that, they do half of 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence, the song.
I was worried because, like, I scrolled past the set list and I saw the album breakdown. I saw A View from the Top of the World. Of course, they're going to play new songs. But then I saw 3 tracks off 6 Degrees, and I was like, but if they're all from the song, that's different.
Yeah, it's Solitary Shell, About to Crash, Reprise, and then the finale.
They just picked it up in the middle and played it to the end.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, but yeah, I would love to hear the whole thing. But yeah, so that was great. They did fantastic. When Labrie came in The Alien, it was almost like he was off beat. It was like he missed a few measures or something.
Oh, yeah.
By Solitary Shell, he was better. But it was like, I don't know if he was flat when he was going high or something. It felt off. And it was to the point where my wife was saying, like, I didn't really care for his vocals. I was like, yeah, he's one of the more divisive elements of Dream Theater.
Right. She's yeah, she's not a musician, is she?
No.
Ooh. That's not good with the non-music. Like, it's one thing when the music, but when they're going, this doesn't sound good to people who aren't like,
yeah, they're not like sitting there thinking about it that way.
Exactly. Ooh, that's
not great.
That's not going to be good for business. How deep into the tour are they?
I'd say halfway through, I think.
Oh, that's not good either. I was thinking maybe they're at the end of the tour. James Labrie, is he from Quebec? I mean, that's where all the wildfires are, so maybe the smoke's getting to him. And
that reminds me.
Oh, no.
All right, so he mentions, like, it's Happy Canada Day. Everybody's like, woo! And he's like, and he goes on about it, and he mentions Devin Townsend, who's also Canadian.
Oh, that's right. He's from BC.
But then he's like, but Canada's blowing all that smoke into the U.S. It's like, James Labrie, it's not like nobody's doing that on purpose. We don't have to talk about it. It's just really awkward. It's like, I know. Like, I'm here.
Did people clap? Like,
it was just kind of like, that's happening.
That's a thing that happens.
Yeah, so that was like an odd segue in between. I think it was one of the first 4 songs. But anyway, okay. So after the 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence, half, they played Pull Me Under, which obviously they did great on. And they played The Count of Tuscany. I love The Count of Tuscany.
Me too. I do.
Yeah.
That's a good one. It's what's that on Black Clouds, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like a 20-minute song.
Yeah, it just everything about it does what I love to hear Dream Theater do. So though interestingly, that part where it kind of has like this heavy build, and then it's like, a big holdout, and it gets real synthy, and the guitar is like wow 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 wow.
don't get us content matched with your flawless performance of that.
Oh yeah. During that part, they play.
Oh no.
They play like in that style. So Rudess is like playing some synthy stuff, and then Petrucci starts playing like Disney.
Oh no.
So they do like Beauty and the Beast. It's like, what the fuck? I was like, am I hearing this wrong? Like, I was really expecting a different melody. Yes. Well, yeah, but it was a very Dream Theater thing to do, right? So it was cute. But yeah, so they play that song, and then I thought it was a great closer before the encore. And the encore is worth talking about, though.
The encore we're going to be watching for Patreon. So
Okay.
Nice.
you can talk about it, but we're going to watch it too.
Okay. So they all go off stage, and the standard. My favorite encore ever was watching Devin Townsend. So like, I'm not going to do that thing where I just go off stage for like 5 seconds and then pretend I'm not going to come back. So here, just he was like, just entertain me. He goes, oh no, I couldn't. No, I really couldn't. Oh, okay. That was my favorite thing.
So he's an encore curmudgeon.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so they play "The Spirit Carries On," which is a bit of a weird choice, I think, for a closer. I like the song, but you almost think it would be like "Dance of Eternity" into "The Spirit Carries On."
Yeah.
Or I cannot think of the last track on Scenes from a Memory right now. But you'd almost think it would be like one of the things that has like either a heavy build or a heavy close, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, they do "Spirit Carries On," and they do a great job. One of the cooler things here is that it's actually Devin Townsend's band minus the bassist. Playing.
Traded everyone.
You're
except
fired.
for Myung and Petrucci. So it's Rudess. Is it Darby Todd? Is that his name? I already
Todd.
forgot.
Yeah, Darby Todd.
So it's Rudess, Darby Todd, Keneally on keys, Petrucci, Myung, and Labrie playing. So they're playing, and then they bring out Tosin Abasi, which is neat. And Tosin Abasi is a young dude, so I was talking to my wife and being like, "How cool is it that you're how I don't know how old. I mean, I guess he's as old as we are, but it's like you get to go on stage and play with John Petrucci.
Yeah, that's
How
awesome.
cool is it? Yeah. So he's on there and he plays a solo, but otherwise he's kind of relegated to rhythm duty, which it's like, all right, fair enough. And then Labrie's singing, and then they bring out Devin Townsend to sing this song, and I found that interesting.
What? Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, so he and Labrie trade off.
Oh no, that doesn't just highlight how bad of a night Labrie's having, does it?
Yeah, because Townsend, I mean, you might not like his voice, but he's good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I've ever really heard a critique of Townsend's voice like I've heard of Labrie. But Townsend at this point, with his old man voice, which I think he's called it. It's almost like it's more in like the operatic, like really overwrought style when he wants it to be. It was cool. I really liked it. I like his voice a lot, and I'm not doing a good job of saying how cool it was to hear him sing this. But he did a really good job. And yeah, it definitely highlighted like, oh yeah, Labrie's having an off night.
Oh.
Wrong button. There it is.
There we go. Yeah, I mean,
Local strain.
They closed it that way. I think at some point Mangini like stole the drum kit back from Darby Todd, and they finished it by like playing multiple cymbals or something like that at the same time. So it was a good close. Overall,
they should have brought all the drum kits on stage. They could have done like a Man-O-War thing.
That would have been something. Actually, okay. Let me come back to that.
Oh no.
Overall, really good. Really good show. Really enjoyed it. First half of Dream Theater set aside, it's just like when they're on, they're like spectacular.
And it's almost like you have to get through some of that, because I feel like every good set has that piece. I very rarely go to a concert where I'm just like all in 100% of the time, and sometimes that wave actually makes it better when there's a song that you're just that's fine,
Right.
It builds better than like starting at the top and just sustaining.
No, fair enough. Yeah, so
Disagree. I've been to a few shows where it's been perfect the whole time.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yes, I've been to many perfect shows as well, but
I've been to more perfect shows than you.
I probably. But still, I'm saying like sometimes just a slow moment or like this song is okay. It's not like they're fucking up.
Oh, I love it when a band builds in a bathroom break.
Well, no, it's not a bathroom break, but it's just like,
I get what you're saying.
This song isn't for me. There's fans who like this more than I do, or they're touring for this album, or whatever.
For Fade to Black,
whatever reason.
For Fade to Black, that song is the bass solo. So,
well, that's when I go to the bathroom.
Oh man, that's on the next set, which means I have to start practicing again.
Ooh.
All right. So the one thing I want to mention, speaking of drums, okay, Animals as leaders, Matt Garska, the drummer, he's very much not the focus of Animals as leaders. It's very much the guitars, because Javier Reyes, I don't know, and Tosin Abasi
certainly isn't the bass.
No,
the bassist.
But they both play 8-string guitars, and they're just like guitar gods. They're very, very good. But Matt Garska, man, so despite the fact that Animals as leaders music it's very like groove based, it's got kind of like a pretty steady tempo. You might get some time signature changes and things like that, but it's very focused around that groove. But that drummer has to be one of the busiest drummers I've ever seen. He is just constantly playing. He sounds like the drumming from a Wintersorg album. You know what I mean? Like where they program the drums. It's like if you were a drummer playing for like Solon's Rotter by Wintersorg, you would never play as much, as densely as you would as Wintersorg has programmed in for that album. And that's what it sounds like with Animals as leaders, except the music supports it more. You know what I mean? But by the way, I love Solon's Rotter, and I think the drums are a net positive. It's just that every now and then you listen to that album, you're like, man, these drums are just so busy. Yeah, Matt Garska, he's just like he's never doing the same thing ever. So I was thinking about him coming out during Dream Theater. It's like, yeah, I don't know that would have worked. I think he would have been bored. He's like, man, my right leg hasn't done anything in a quarter of a second. What am I doing? Anyway, great show, great venue. Overall, had a great time.
A lot of prog. In
2 thumbs up.
All right.
Nice. A lot of prog.
2 thumbs up, but there were 3 bands. Oh. So.
Wait. How am I going to do this? I'm trying to give it a 3rd thumb. There it is.
Yeah.
It's this.
There you go. You look like my shop teacher. Did you have?
Oh, hey, that's a real life joke too.
Yeah, it is. He really had 9 fingers.
He really did. Yeah,
he really did. Or it's not clear if it happened before he became a shop teacher or not.
Oh no, I actually do know the story.
Oh no, this is a bonus for anyone who have gone to our high school.
And actually, it's interesting because how do you think the shop teacher? I'll let you guess.
Oh,
how did the shopkeeper?
Bandsaw, 100%.
Nope, not a bandsaw.
That's my only guess. Drill press.
More brutal. No.
Oh.
It in fact was not a piece of wood shop equipment.
Bleachers.
He was working in a warehouse or something, and a giant heavy box fell on his hand.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So his finger was smashed.
Yes. I mean, that's fucking brutal as hell, right?
There you go. There you go, Mike. All right. Well, until next time, Metal Nation, keep looking up. Keep your hands in your pockets.
Yeah, keep your
And sit the fuck down at these theater shows. We're old. Yeah, I talked over the outro. I don't care.
You know, when I said look up, you're not actually supposed to look up.